Hello, this is Ashley Balot, and I'll be discussing the who, what, where, when, how, and why portion of our assignment. And I'm going to be discussing again the wicked problem of snacking. I'll be discussing a little bit about the why this is so important at every level because I can't seem to separate them. It kind of just is all intertwined, so I'll do my best to try to separate them out. The who is going to be children ages 6 to 10, plus or minus a few years, because children that live in the United States that attend public elementary school are usually about this age. Usually kids start around their 6th birthday, and they usually matriculate off to middle school around between 10 and 12. It depends on the progression of the student. So that's my who. And the what is snacking habits of children to identify and evaluate habits to determine the nutritional value of what food items are consumed, the quantity, the frequency, and the type. So basically, I'm looking at preferences and behaviors, choices and options children have, development of methods in order to reduce the consumption of the low nutrient dense foods, and ways to successfully and efficiently implement the specific changes that are needed. So I'm going to look at what the problems are, where the kids are getting the food from, how they're getting it, when they're having it, and how to properly change this. So if, let's say, they're getting it from the school snack program. In the school snack program, they only offer like boxed things like Doritos, cookies, chips, those kind of things. It would be in the school's best interest to just stop offering that altogether and offer like bananas, apples, oranges, those kind of things. That way it can help eliminate the behaviors and the options they have by limiting their preferences and choices. So let's say if you give them an apple and an orange, they can choose between an apple and an orange. They don't have to decide whether the Doritos are going to be what they want over a banana. So just limiting options and giving them positive influences to change the behavior. That's the what we're looking at. The where is all around the USA, across the entire country. You'll find children enjoying snacks, or 2 or 3 or even more. And you'll notice that historically snacking type, frequency, quality has all changed quite a bit in the last few decades. So if you look at your parents' choices, your grandparents' choices, and then perhaps even your own children's choices if you have them, you'll see that there's a difference between what maybe your kids are eating or our kids or you're eating compared to what your grandparents or great-grandparents used to eat for snacks, or how often they snacked, or even if they snacked at all. And a lot of that has to do with like culture. It has to do with availability. It has to do with just things are different than they used to be. So children in the USA are often consuming too many snacks at home, at school, and or after school, with the majority of snacking occurring after school, in after-school programs, in the afternoon, and at home. So it spans across a great variety of different demographics and can be found in all population categories, all income levels. It could be found across America pretty widely. So the where would be pretty much the entire country, all students that go to elementary school, and across all demographics altogether. So the where would be in person, virtually, via touch, taste, smell, sight, and sound. So everything that children hear, everything they see, everything they are able to physically touch, taste, smell, all have a factor into what goes into their food. So it all has an effect on where we're going to target. So where we're getting this information from, where is this occurring? So it's occurring on the internet, it's occurring in books, it's occurring physically, it's occurring all the time, their associations they're making. Also the when. So I'm looking at the last 5 years, specifically data from those last 5 years to evaluate my historical sources and to establish a timeline and trending, display change and progression. I want to look at the past, I want to look at the present, and I want to look towards the future. Public school children across the USA have been evaluated and determined their snacking habits and methods and ways to reduce them and prevent health habits in the future. So current policies, standards, and programs applicable to children that attend public schools in the USA are going to be included, and it'll be used to implement behavior change, to enhance upon established programs, and to maybe improve upon them. The how. So using all the information and taking it all into consideration, I think that using social media is going to be essential. Twitter, people are crazy about Twitter right now. So Twitter is going to be something you can use. Facebook. There's going to be social media, games like Instagram. There's going to be games that children can play, they can participate in. There's going to be community outreach programs to look at and evaluate, like community gardens, and then home starter kits, and then events like that can be easily implemented at grocery store tours, fun snack packing workshops, education, like parents and family education, where the whole family can participate. It's not just like a parent-teacher conversation or like a handout that goes home. It could be something interactive. It could be something fun that could be planned. Peer-to-peer and peer-led education has proven in many studies to be effective and should be incorporated more. You're more likely to believe something that someone of your own age group is telling you. You don't have to listen to adults telling you something all the time, or listening to inanimate things like cartoons telling you what's good for you and what's not. It's good to see peer-to-peer interaction. So incorporation of nutrition into the curriculum is essential. I think that there needs to be more of this. I know in elementary school I don't have any memory of ever discussing nutrition. So I think it's important it's incorporated into the nutrition curriculum early, like putting it into all topics whenever they can. And then trips to see where the food comes from, like farm to table. I know that living in New Hampshire, I have access to farms. I have access to go to these things, but more urban or more city-like places won't have the access. But I think it would be important to get them out there. Have trips to see where it comes from, how it gets there, how almost like how it's made. Have the children be aware and have access to that information. Also have limitation of access. So you don't want to have any programs offering unhealthy options. Like I mentioned earlier, after school programs and meals and snacks, don't give the children the option to choose a bad option. Don't give them the choice. So if you just want to offer all healthy things, they'll make better choices because they don't have another choice. So I talk a little bit about why this is so important throughout all the tabs. And if you'd like to read more, I can send you my paper if that's something you're interested in. But basically, it's very important because children are the future. Children are very impressionable and resilient. The majority of children attend public schools in the USA. So it's a very big group of people to influence, or small people. Habits and behaviors accepted in childhood are carried into adulthood, and it's very important. Knowledge is power. So the more they know, the more they are influenced, the better they'll be in the long run. They'll be able to make more informed choices. They'll be able to reach a nutritional maturity that they haven't reached, and it'll just make them better off. They'll be less likely to develop habits at an older age and develop disease and disorder later in life. So that's my who, what, where, when, how, and why. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or to comment. Thank you. Have a great night or day.